if I may talk a little bit about, we know what the small and medium enterprises do, but perhaps there isn't universal understanding about what they contribute.
Mm-hmm.
You picked on the point of the important role in any nation's economy. SMEs contribute as much as 50% to the global GDP,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is a big number.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of employment as well, they contribute to 70% of the employment in businesses, right? In India, that number is even higher.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 90%. And curiously enough, the contribution to GDP is lesser in India, which tells you there is so much,
That can be done.
headroom for growth. And typically, like you said, having worked with small and medium enterprises, most of our customers have great products. They have a loyal set of customers. I think the problem set is about, how do you scale this?
Mm-hmm.
How do you generate the next set of demand? Often, in comparison to the large enterprises, I would say the customer journeys are a little disconnected, right? And which is probably preventing them from scale. So, these are the issues that they have, and most of their work processes tend to be manpower intensive. And to attract the right kind of manpower is an issue for them. So it is therefore, understandable that, that they are at roughly a 50% productivity level when compared to large enterprise. And you would have, in your experience as well, seen that because of the inherent issues, problems of funding, problems of the requisite technical skills, their adoption of technology is also at a much lower level than large enterprises. And this contributes to sort of robbing them of the competitive edge, that they are really searching for. And despite that, they are contributing to 50% of the GDP. You can imagine if they are enabled and some of their problems of access to funding, access to technology, access to skilled resources are sorted out, how much they can contribute. And I'm sure you would know that, in say places like, the example that comes to mind is Israel, where all of these constraints don't exist.
Have been
right?
taken out, yes.
Right. And their contribution to GDP is 70-odd%. So
I think this access to technology is a very big thing. The government has been doing a lot in order to ease the access to finance. Okay. So today you have the Open Credit Enablement Network. You have the Account Aggregator Forum, where you can actually go and get a lot of information about people's finances. And you have a lot of government schemes that are there in order to support the SME sector. What isn't really looked at is, as you rightly say, the technology piece. And that is where I think, we need to sort of work together, because what you are providing is the connectivity, the communication and the platform that's required for the best of technology. And what we are providing are really the technology solutions. Because again, as I said, we take a lot of interest in running this SME motion separately. And globally, by the way, it's run in a separate fashion. Because we do realize that, while we are an enterprise software company, we can make the same things available to them, but with tweaks. We don't want to have to customize the same products, because the moment you start customizing, it becomes costlier. Okay, and then the SMEs, are not able to afford it. So it has to be out of the box to the extent possible, so that the customization and implementation doesn't become a kind of a barrier. But at the same time, they have to be given all of the functions that, we would be able to give to an enterprise. So it's not easy. It's not easy in order to do that.
And talking from their vantage point, and this is again out of, having worked with SMEs for such a long time. See, firstly, SMEs, it's not a homogeneous segment, right? You have the micro, you have the slight medium, and you have the slightly larger sort of, and their personas and their buying behaviors are different. But what is still very sort of universal about the small and medium enterprise segment is that they are actually looking for an all-rounder. When they look at service providers, whether it is connectivity or technology, or even, people who are sort of straddling both connectivity and technology, they are looking for an all-rounder to stay the journey with them. right? Somewhere they believe that their leverage with either large telcos or large technology players is possibly not there, right? So therefore, they prefer to work with a partner who is selling their products and services, but who is also helping them make these technology decisions, which are an issue for them because they don't have the sort of skilled resources. And that's a space where we are sort of trying to expand. See, most of our selling is done through channel partners who have one or more of these trends. They could be system integrators, they could be hardware providers, right, who are working closely with the small and medium enterprises and therefore enjoy their trust, right? Working with them and building, trust from our side and sort of really working as a partner is where we are seeing some sort of success stories where we've been able to guide them to the next technology decision, right? Because it can be a daunting thing, right? With the supply side of it, imagine for a small and medium enterprise to know that okay, it's a good amount of investment, and it is possibly make or break. And then how do you go ahead and make that sort of decision?
I agree with you because we are finding this everywhere where we go in. Though we have our ability to price it within their powers, but for them to make a choice is very different.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of solutions being thrown at you from all sides. And often for them to really understand, because they don't have access to that kind of talent. Right. And because of that, it's very difficult for them to make a choice and really then stick to it. So our way of approaching this is, again, as you say, to try and be a partner and not a vendor. Right. The moment you start being a partner and not a vendor, you sort of guarantee them that we will enable you to grow and we'll grow alongside of you. And actually speaking, we've seen a lot of traction in the startup segment, because the startup segment, there the people are traditionally technology oriented. They want to bring in a lot of technology right from the beginning in order to differentiate. I think we have a bigger challenge in the traditional sector, in the legacy SMEs. But that is not to say that they don't have potential either. It's a question of them really trusting people like you or me in order to sort of hold them by the hand and lead them down the road.